Record now. All right, guys, welcome to Money Honey Monday. I'm so excited to be back. I do apologize for I don't know, hiatus, but I think it was necessary. But I feel like there's a lot of questions about transition and everything. So we can focus on that. We can talk about anything else, whatever questions you may have. I have questions every single time, every single go to. So, um, what?
Sorry, I'm gonna mute. I
You're
apologize.
fine. You're fine. Christina, do you have any particular questions that we can start with, and then we can just kind of like go from there?
I don't think I have anything right now. I think
Okay.
I've been asking kind of on an as needed basis.
Yeah. Let me pull my so this doesn't have my full full stuff here. Um I wish I had brought one of my catalogs, but so the way that I'm doing it is I am giving everybody a catalog and then I have the scavenger hunt. The scavenger hunts are made like so that you can print two to a page. And this is the older catalog, but I typically just staple it to the front of the page. And then what I do is, put it in my cute little bag. The only problem with this bag is that it does cost this one. It does cost like $4 to send at its like lightest possible weight. It's $4 to send at minimum. So they are very pricey and expensive. And I have a lot of non-local people. So that gets really, really it adds up. But I know that you were able to find the rack cards for the stickers. And so those were really nice. This isn't a rack card, but this is at least the size of it. And look, this is how old it is. This is the Harvest Collection, but it's like this size. So it fits perfectly inside an envelope, which makes it just perfect. And you have all your little stickers on there, stick it into an envelope, and then you just do your first class stamp, and that's it. So that's a lot cheaper and more affordable so that people can at least scratch and sniff. And then if they happen to have an order and anything later on down the road, you can always add samples if you want to, because they already have a box going out. But there you go. There's a scavenger hunt right there. Oh, and you did it two-sided. Nice.
So what I did was I doubled up like the same way everybody else does. You put two of these on one page, and then I did all this through Avery. Christina, I don't know if you're watching or whatever, but I took all the design, then plugged it in on Avery on just an 8.5 by 11. I think the template I used was the full page sticker sheet or something. But two of these on one page, and then I made a second one that was two of the scratch and sniff flyers on one page, and set up my printer to print double-sided. Okay, so that as if it was one page and just double-sided. And it works perfectly. It fits right in, just like you just said, Jasmine, fits right inside. Only my VIP customers get one of these. So if I have like a random customer who, like say through my PWS, who got one order one time, has never responded to anything that I've done for follow-up or anything else, they will get a mailing, but it'll be like you just said, that number 10 envelope with just a flyer in it. But my folks that are repeat, not offenders, but my repeat orders, my big ticket item orders, my hosts, for example, they will all get that catalog, because like you, a lot of mine are out of town, and I had to really be mindful of how much I was spending in postage. So that's how I was able to discern, you're going to get a catalog, you're going to get, and I will send like a product sheet in that number 10 envelope, because again, it's a couple of stamps and you're fine. So that's what I do.
Yeah, very nice. Are you like following a similar process to Christina for your stuff?
I am, yes.
Okay.
I feel like right now everybody's a VIP for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's a good thing.
so I kind of feel like I'm just treating everybody the same. I mean, I've only been doing this for 3 months. So I've had quite a few parties and, repeat customers. So I think maybe the customers of the parties that haven't bought again, I would maybe consider them not the VIPs, but I'm still going to include them on whatever mailings I have.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and with those
Yeah.
parties, I learned over time, like I don't need a gazillion warmers, which is how I ended up having to buy extra storage space to house all of my warmers that I got for freebie and half off. So I ended up just being more smart about it and getting a ton of scent circles. And so I use my freebies and my half offs towards scent circles. And at some point, you're going to get to this point too, where you feel like you just have way too much. Exactly. Just like that. And so I have like every time I close out a party, I end up with like 30 or 40 scent circles. And so when I'm sending out just those envelope mailers anyways, I stick a scent circle in there and then it has on there, enjoy this free scent circle. Thank you for your purchase. Want to buy more? Here it is. And then it has all the information on there. So it's like a nice little like, don't forget about me, like I'll always give you freebies, like so that you differentiate yourself from other consultants.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you personally like the scent circles?
Mhm.
You
Do
do?
I?
Yeah.
So in Miami, I know that people like my friends over in Texas say that they don't work as well. And I feel like that was also our situation here in Miami. The heat like just eats it up.
Yeah.
And so I think mine has like a shelf life of maybe 2 weeks, and that's like really stretching it for me. So I change it out pretty often.
Okay. 2 weeks isn't bad.
Yeah.
And
But it's
you can
supposed to go like 4?
You can also, if you have a corresponding room spray, you can actually take the room spray and spray your
And
scent
spray them.
circle and it freshens it back up. I personally, the only reason I bulked up to that degree, I do not have a scent circle obsession, I swear. But I do have 2 vendor events coming up, one in March, one in April. And my plan is to, even if the scents are expired, it's to stick one in every customer's purchase bag. And it's
Yeah.
just like, hey, thanks for shopping with me. Here's a reminder of who I am.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So those are a nice little, I don't have to worry about putting together a big shop with me again packet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody was saying they use them under the sink, which I thought was really fun.
Oh,
Under the kitchen sink, under the bathroom sink.
yeah.
So
No,
I
my
had one in my
husband-
closet.
My husband keeps one attached to the back of the litter box too.
Mm.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I don't touch the litter box. Just not doing it. They're not my cat.
So another thing about scent circles and just kind of throwing it in when you make a sale, one of the other team members, she sells makeup on Macari. And so she said that one time inadvertently she went to go send somebody the makeup that she sold and she didn't have any bags except for like the Scentsy padded envelopes. And so she ended up putting the makeup in the Scentsy envelope. And then the person who received it said, "Oh my gosh, I love it. And by the way, are you a Scentsy consultant? I really could use one." And it just like
Yeah.
boom, new customer. And she didn't even, it wasn't even intentional, but she just that was for convenience. And so now she started putting a scent circle. I think she puts a scent circle. She does something that like markets her Scentsy business also every time she sends out the makeup. So
Yeah.
like boom, you just like combine 2 things in one.
Yeah, I've been doing that too. I have some stuff on eBay and Poshmark. We
Mhm.
do our old clothes. So I always include the little, whatever I have, I include something in there with my information.
Very
I
nice.
haven't
Very
gotten a
nice.
customer, but
Yeah, no, but it helps
doing
because
it.
then they're gonna say, "Oh, wait, I bought this with these jeans. Let me go back and find that person." And then
Mhm.
you can, redirect them to your PWS and then stay
Right.
in compliance.
Yeah.
Not to mention it'll scent whatever you're sending as well. So now that those clothes, that makeup, whatever, it's going to come with that scent of that scent circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then something they taught at SFR that I really loved that I'm trying to stay on top of is they said that they'll buy the scent circles or they'll use the scent circles for their freebies and half offs based on the current scent of the month. So by using the scent of the month, you get the people, your customers interested in this very brand new scent. It's not in the catalog, but then you also give them that FOMO because you're like, hey, it comes in a spray, a scent circle, a wax bar, but guess what? It's going to go away in a month. So you have to add this to Scentsy Club. So then that starts building your club because now you're being very strategic and intentional about gifting them something that's going to have like an expiration and they have to hurry up. If they love it, they need to hurry up and add it into club. And so that builds the club. So that's something I've been trying to be more intentional with too. It's just insane. Some of these people have like 40, 50, 60 club people per month. And I just don't understand. Like, I can't get my people to join club for nothing, like it's so hard.
Well, that's what I've been telling my people. I'm like, once you get all your warmers, then and you're done, just now focus on your club. Just, I only have 2 people.
Yeah. Well,
2 people in the club, but yeah, because after that you only need like little special warmers that might pop up, but just you get the discount, shipping is cheaper.
So all of our when I say our, just so you know, Christine, I do mean my husband and me. So when I say all of our club subscribers outside of us are either cleaning or laundry. Not one of them is for wax
Really?
spray or any of the other stuff. It's cleaning products and laundry products.
Mm.
And in fact, I was just telling Jasmine before you hopped on, my son is moving into his first apartment this week, and we have got him set up on a club because, my God, my son is lazy, as a lot of 21-year-olds are. And so we talked to him, and it was decided an auto ship for that age, when you're full-time working and full-time a college student, the auto ship of your cleaning products and your laundry detergent, we know now that he's gonna at least have laundry detergent. He may not have clean laundry. but, but otherwise my bigger clubbers, I ended up recruiting them or sponsoring them. So I'm like you, Jasmine, I need to get that back going. And folks just, I don't know why, but a lot of folks really are leery of having that auto debit. Either they don't trust, or
Yeah.
they'll forget. They're worried they'll forget,
Yep.
which Sensi does remind you, but
They
those
didn't
are a
used
lot
to.
of- they didn't used to, but those are a lot of the objections I'm hearing right now. Is
Yeah.
it's a financial thing
Yeah.
than anything else.
I
Is
think
it too much for you to offer to put them on a reminder list? Like that you would
I have.
You have.
I have offered, and they just, but it's okay because I'll keep plugging away. I'm like you, I'm gonna keep doing it. It's gonna keep happening.
During the beginning of my Scentsy journey, I learned that some of my customers were very confused of the difference between joining Scentsy and signing up for Scentsy Club. They thought Scentsy Club meant becoming a consultant. So then I had to start changing the language and really explaining Scentsy Club is a subscription, cancel at any time, does not cost you anything extra. You also save money on top of it. I think they were confusing at that time the lingo between club and join. Join club to them meant join Scentsy. It didn't mean like there was a subscription. So now I say, sign up for Scentsy Club subscription, cancel at any time. So I add that extra verbiage so that they fully understand this is not me asking you to join Scentsy. It's me asking you to create a subscription that you can cancel. So
I don't know. The easiest way I have found that folks really understand is it's an auto ship. And that's all it is. It's just like an Amazon auto ship, except our stuff smells better. So it'll happen. It will.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. Another thing that I think
really, Kat?
I noticed too was my team members, even that were coming under me as a sponsor, with me there as their sponsor, were very leery about even the automatic draft for their PWS. That they didn't like either. And I'm like, well, set your alarm now, 90 days from now, or like 85 days from now, set your alarm to cancel it. If all you want to do is just have access to get things you need to get for your discount, and you don't want access to the clearance section, you don't want those things, you can cancel. But then at the same time, you can also, watch what we're doing and then reactivate your PWS just in time for that flash sale that's going to happen 2 days from now. Like you can always do that, but you just have to be very smart and good about going back in and canceling. Like some people are really good about that, and some are, like me, they forget it. So.
And, once you do hit the lead rank and title and above, and you start getting those random orders, it's really, it's 100% worth that. What is it, 15 now? It used to be 10 dollars a month. I mean, just the one random order pays for that whole website. So I think it's a good business investment, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I forget too.
Yeah. So Christina, just to elaborate on that a little bit, once you hit lead consultant, which means you have sponsored one person who's active that month, and then you guys hit your numbers together collectively, what happens is you end up on the search database as the most local person. When somebody puts in their zip code, but they don't have a consultant, you will come up as you will automatically get that order just by default of being proximity wise close to them. However, in order to maintain that status is not only hitting lead, but maintaining those leadership numbers every single month. So if you don't maintain the leadership number like in February, then in March, you won't even show up at all. Your name will be able, they'll be able to search you by name, but they have to know to intentionally type it out. Otherwise, other orders will come to you as long as you maintain that lead status and above. So getting paid at title is really important, but it's such an amazing perk because like, Jen, what was your biggest order?
It was in January and it was almost $500 because the
I've never gotten
gentleman,
that.
Dentist office?
what'd you say?
The dentist office? Was it the
Yes.
dentist?
I was gonna say the gentleman was a dentist or at least his family is dental. It turns out he's legal, but they ordered like 7 warmers and wax and everything else. And when I tell you, I spent the first half hour of that day Googling, trying to make sure, like, please let this be a real order. Please because it's happened several times since I made lead, but never one that big. And it kind of makes you a little worried, but yeah. And the first couple of times it happened, I was like, Jasmine, what is going on? Because I had no idea. This is back in
It was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, it is October, November. I had no clue. And she's like, oh yeah, by the way, okay, cool, perks. I'm down.
And I forget to mention it, and so that's why bringing it up is awesome because I forget to mention the perks of that. It's not just recruitment aspect of it, but it's the recruitment plus the perks of now you end up as a default just because of proximity. And if you like in my area, so like every block is a new zip code because it's so congested down here. But I'm not sure if maybe yours is a little bit more spread out or anything, but I do get other people's zip codes around me to the point where, funny story, one time, Sensi, I have like the shop app. So every time there is a shipment, it connects to my shop app and it tells me, hey, it's on its way. Hey, it's been delivered, right? So I get instant notification of delivery. And then it says delivery, Sensi delivered. And so I always send a text message or something to my husband and say, please bring the box inside. There's likely wax or something. I don't want it to melt. So I'm like, please bring the box inside. And I tell him, he's like, there's no box outside. And so I'm like, what? And then I go and look at the picture on FedEx and there's a picture of somebody's front door and it's not my front door. And I was like, can you please go find out what neighbor it is? Because it happens all the time. And then he's like, this is not one of our neighbors. He's like, I would recognize them by, like we know them all by now. Their doormat, everybody, we know what their doormat looks like. And and then we ended up driving and I was like, where did they drop this thing off at? And I'm looking at the address. I pull it up and it's like the neighborhood over from me. We literally drive into the neighborhood. I go up and I ring the doorbell because there's no package, but I recognize the doormat from the picture. There's no package there. And I was like, they have my box. And then I get in the car and it's a good thing nobody was home. I got in the car and that's when I was like, oh, no, this is one of those Sensi.com orders that redirected to me. And I thought it was mine because you get your customers' notifications too. And I thought it was mine. I was like, it's a good thing she didn't open that door because I would have been like, hi, you have
Where's
my box? Exactly. And I would have been fighting with the customer.
And they're steadily calling the cops like, okay, porch prowler.
Yeah, and I was probably on her ring thing and everything, but I'm glad I didn't say anything to make a fool of myself. But yeah, so word for the wise, if that happens to you and you're hunting it down, it might actually not be your box, but it was just too familiar, like it was in the neighborhood, but it wasn't. So yeah, that was my story.
So about how long after you started did you both get your first person to sign up under you?
Yeah, so it's probably easier for me than it is for you, isn't it?
My first cousin, she is my first cousin. My first person was my cousin. So that was easy. Like she was doing it for me because she knew I was trying to hit sensational starts levels. And so she signed up with intention to do something with it because I told her what the income looks like. I've showed her all of the different income stuff. And then she looked at it. She was like, okay, I want to do this too. And I mean, my cousin has she's been in the car business for a very long time. So she is a salesperson through and through. So this was like so perfect for her to the point where her first party was her walking into church with the catalog and she walked out of there with $1,000 in orders. Like that's how much of a hustler she is.
Yeah.
However, she's on kid number 5 right now. So life is just kind of like gone out of control. She, like went for, kid number 3, and then 4 and 5 happened back to back without her expecting it. So like back to back. They were almost Irish
Jeez.
twins.
My God.
Yeah. So that was kind of like that was the and then after that I made a YouTube video, the one that everybody has seen, so,
Mhm.
and that video went viral because there were so many people questioning the clickbait title nature of it in the Scentsy community that they kept sharing it with one another, and because of their ill intent, it made my video go viral. So it's the first thing that pops up when people look at should I join Scentsy or whatever, or bad things about Scentsy, because that's how I Googled it. I was like, bad, whatever, Scentsy scam or whatever. I like Googled those things to see if that's something I wanted to get myself into. So I use that same methodology, and then it worked. And then that's when like every single person except for my cousin is, and my one previous coworker is completely from the YouTube video. So
Wow.
I was
I
just
am
very
too.
lucky.
I'm from the YouTube video as well. For me, Christina, I only have 2 team members. My sister is the first one, and she joined specifically to shop from herself. And I told Jasmine the same thing she told me. She's not going to shop or sell. She's not going to circulate anything, blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, I love her dearly. She has gone back to being one of my best customers. She put her link out there. She sold literally $44 for this stuff. And she has, like I said, she's gone back to being my best customer. And it was amazing. And I'm going to be forever grateful, because she also, even though she didn't sell anything, she let me use her as my team guinea pig.
Mhm.
I was able to bounce everything off of her and all of that. And then my second one joined, she was my best customer, Bella, which you'll see her in and out of the groups. She's also one of my best, most dearest best friends, whatever. And she has loved Scentsy for years and years and years. And she kept having, $400 and $500 and $600 scent events. And finally decided, okay, well, I've stopped nursing after 20 plus years, and I need something to do. And she has, I think, 6 kids. And yeah, so she joined, and she's been active every month since she joined. And we live, I think we counted at like 25 stoplights from one another. She went to World Tour with me. And my recruiting game is not strong. My sponsoring game is not strong, because I'm really good at taking no for an answer. And I'm trying to be more intentional about not doing that anymore. But, that's like Jasmine recruits like nobody's business. My sales game is super strong. Jazz has the recruiting game, in the bag. I'm trying to remember we're recording and watch my
No, that's fine. I have it not safe for children.
right.
And just because I know I throw out bad words every now and then.
Right.
Yeah, no, my recruiting game in person is not good. And that's because I have this population of like friends, and or not really friends, coworkers and colleagues that are all like, they won't even throw a party. They won't even do parties. They'll do shopping events, shopping links all day long, and hit 200 and hit 500 so that they can get their freebies and half off. Not a problem. And without even like blinking, like that's how much they don't think about the money they spend. But when it comes to me saying, hey, why don't you send a text message to like 3 of your closest friends? That's when they're like, huh. But I mean, let me just pick this warmer out because I need to gift this to such and such, and then I'm just like, but I need to spread. I need to be able to like sell to more than just like, because people get burnt out, and people, and then they don't want to keep gifting Scentsy year after year either. And so we ended up, so all of my people just are bad when it comes to doing anything more than a shopping link. They only want to do that, no parties. So I'm not able to spread my wings that way and find other people. My go-to was TikTok, or not TikTok, YouTube. I will tell you, one of our other team members, her go-to was TikTok. She started as an influencer on Instagram, doing the makeup tutorials and all that other stuff. And so she was big on Instagram, but then she'd never really dabbled into TikTok. And when she and I were talking, she was like, well, let me try TikTok also. So she tried TikTok, and she ended up recruiting like 4 or 5 people in that month where we had like a discount. And so she has benefited from utilizing and leveraging social media, and it's, not within her friend group, because same thing, she had recruited a cousin, I think, and the cousin did nothing, and then she realized that recruiting family members was only going to ruin relationships. And so she was just like gun shy. And the same thing with me, and maybe too, Jen, like I'm sure all of us have kind of been in that situation where once you recruit a family member or somebody who's close to you, you realize they don't put in the work. It kind of like fizzles your relationship too, because it's not as strong as it was before. But yeah, for me, it was social media. And so it works for me. And for other people, they flip parties all day long. And I will tell you, I've flipped before I did these launch parties in the past. I've flipped people who had $500 orders. And I said, hey, just join. And then you're going to get, this much in commission. I'm going to flip your party, blah, blah, blah. They joined, party flipped, and they never again bought Scentsy ever again. And they made it very clear to me. They're like, I'm not very good at this. I really don't want to do this. And I'm convincing them, do it for 10 minutes, guys. Do it for the discount. And they're like, okay. And then they just stop buying Scentsy altogether from themselves. And so that strategy hasn't worked for me. And I've seen a lot of leaders do that, and they look like they're really good in recruiting, but they're not good in recruiting. They're just flipping parties and then losing a customer out of it. So it really has to be like the right touch.
Yeah, I don't, and we've talked about this privately, Jazz. I do not like the idea of flip your best customer. I don't like flipping parties in general, and that's for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Why would I want to lose my best customer? Now for Chloe does that and she knocks it out of the park every time, and that's amazing. But Chloe also has a team of like 10,000 people, and I'm exaggerating, but
it was 16,000 at one point.
Holy, okay. I have 2. Yay. And one actually works. For me, it's very intentional recruiting, but that also, like we said earlier, that gets in my way, so I am getting in my own way. So there's got to be a median. And I feel like for all of us, we all have something that is like that magic button, and we just have to figure out what our individual magic buttons are.
Yeah.
I look Christina, just so you know, I am like 3 days in of helping my kid move out, so I look a hot mess.
That's all right. You look fine.
So another thing that I noticed in the past that has worked, not for me, but for other people too, so maybe this is something that could work for one of you, is instead of trying to recruit your best customer. I mean, like, I think at the end of the day, you should always be like, hey, just so you know, you could have earned this much on your order if you became a Scentsy consultant. But I know you're busy and this and that. So like letting them know that that is an option, but not necessarily like actively trying to recruit them, but just like, hey, an FYI, you can take that and you can spin it and you can say, do you know anybody who could benefit from joining Scentsy and making a little bit of extra cash, and everybody knows somebody who's like strapping for money and like needing that gas money, or needing, just had accrued, like a car broke down or something like that and need to fix it, and they just don't have the money or cash. And so that is a good way to spend it. If you have a great customer, you can always say, hey, let me know if please, I would love your referrals to anybody that you think could probably do something like this. And I would love to bring them on board, train them, blah, 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 so that they can earn that, quick cash for gas or whatever it is that they'd like to do. As long as they put in the work, I'm here to train them. And so I think sometimes doing that, instead of you trying to recruit the actual person, you're trying to ask the actual person, do you know somebody else who may be interested? And it takes away, like, it gives you like that nice little buffer where you're not actually asking the person, but you're still putting that whole concept out there. And then they can think for themselves, or they can think for a cousin or a sister or somebody who actually really probably would be really good at it too.
That's
and
good
then
idea.
and then in their minds, they're like, oh, now I can support my sister who has really been struggling and just lost her job, or just had her 4th kid and really would like to stay home and work from home instead. So doing that spin is pretty creative too. I've not come across somebody that spin has worked on yet, but it doesn't mean it doesn't work for other people.
Everything works for someone. I
I know.
firmly believe that.
Agreed. All right. Any other last minute questions before this thing cuts off? Because now we're on free mode and we are 6 minutes and 16 seconds left.
I don't have anything right now. Sorry, Christina, please.
What am I, the question girl?
No, you opened your mouth and I feel like I interrupted.
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, no, I don't have any more questions either.
Okay. All right. Well, awesome, ladies. We are heading into March 1st. So, okay, go ahead.
SFR.
SFR. Yeah.
Okay, I know you're planning to go. I'm planning to go. Christina, have you thought about Sensi family reunion in July?
No.
Like you're not even gonna think about it, or no, you haven't thought about it.
I don't think it's something that I'm really interested in right now, to be honest.
Okay. I'm just trying to put feelers out, see who all wants to go and who might be interested in going in on an Airbnb. Yeah. 'Cause if it's just Jasmine and me, we'll room up in a hotel and try not to kill each other.
I think you'll do fine.
I do snore. I'm sorry.
I do smother. It's okay.
No, we're not going to be in the same bed. There's no smothering.
I would never smother you. It's fine.
That's funny. Yeah, so 3/1 is the product launch. Everything launches at 3 a.m. Eastern time, so that's midnight Pacific time. If you have somebody who's wanting something very, very specific and you're afraid of sellout, yes, absolutely be up before 3 a.m. to log on and jump in the queue, because things can sell out and we just never know. So that's really the only emphasis I need to put on like a future launch that's happening. But if you wait until 8, 9 a.m. when you're up and ready to jump onto the workstation, you're running a risk. So it's really only if you have something super specific, but otherwise, I think with the new bars, with everything, I don't see anything really selling out on 3/1 because it's just a new catalog, right?
So they won't keep restocking the catalog items?
They will. So follow the product status list, the PSL that's on your news section. As soon as you open it up, it's like on the top link or something. Always follow that. If you have any questions or anything, also, feel free to put it into the Impacts Collective. If you're like, hey, did this sell out? And then I can check the director's page, because what happens is they're really quick and on top of it. They'll say, somebody from Sensi headquarters will go on there and say, confirming blank sold out, will update product status list soon. And so what they're doing is they're waiting for an actual confirmation date of when the next thing will come in, so that when they put it on the product status list, it'll say blank sold out, returning 3/26 or something like that. So sometimes it's just a matter of it's coming in, it just is sitting at different warehouses or something and they haven't dispersed it yet.
No.
So everything will be restocked no matter what, the warmers,
pretty much, but some of them might be slower. It just depends.
Some of the LTO stuff they never restocked, but that's rare. No, we were just talking, one of the main things that's dropping is an LTO. It comes available March 1st, supposedly.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Dobby. Dobby is limited. I'm telling you, dude, Harry Potter's my gig. But Dobby,
give me a French bulldog. I don't want any.
Do what?
So give me a French bulldog. I don't need any Harry Potter.
Hey, you know what? That's Jasmine's thing too. I'm huge into Harry Potter, but Dobby, he's adorable. He only comes with one sock, but he's not part of the catalog. He's limited time only.
And it's dropping supposedly at the same time.
Dropping on the 1st. I've already got 4 pre-orders for the Dobby Buddy. So even though you may not be a Harry Potter fan, there may be a lot of Harry Potter people in your life that you don't even know about. I didn't even know about it until I got one of the warmers. And then I was like, oh, look at this. And 1 million views later on TikTok, we have orders. So anyway, once that goes away, I don't think that's going to come back. Well, no, that's not true. Maybe next catalog, possibly.
Maybe not in the catalog, but somewhere. Yeah, somewhere. It'll make a reappearance.
I mean, like, I know that pumpkin, that fairy tale pumpkin that sold, like that sold out. I had bought one of those pre-orders myself.
Nice.
And then it never came back again.
Yeah.
So What was that? That wasn't a warmer of the month, right? Was that
No,
just an LTO?
it was an LTO that was brought
Okay.
back. So it was out a
Oh, it
couple years
was.
ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and then it came
Mm,
back last year, I think it is. And then so I don't know how they strategize what's coming back versus what isn't, and
okay.
sometimes they bring back things that I'm like, really? And they don't
Trying to
bring back other things.
understand why they
Yeah.
like the dish soap. I understand why they took that away, but not so much the scent soft. I have no idea why they took that away, but it's not
Yeah.
for us to know. Okay,
Yeah.
we got 1 minute and 16 seconds.
Yeah. It's something about the top 10 or the lowest 10 or something like that. I heard 10. So the
Yeah.
lowest 10 items that were selling consistently and that's what it was. So, well,
Yeah. I don't use fabric softener anymore. So I think, with all like the Under Armour stuff, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to put in your towels. I think a lot of people are stopping.
mm.
I mean, how much stuff do you need in your laundry?
I use it.
I
But like
use the whiffs, and the whiffs are enough for me. It gives me enough
yeah,
scent.
I do the entire cycle, so it's just
Mm,
me personally. But no, I hear what you're saying. A lot of people just they're done with it. They're like, I
yeah,
don't need all these steps. I just want to put my
it's
stuff
a
in
lot.
there and turn it
Mhm.
on. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, I'll wrap it up now because we're less than a minute. Thank you guys for jumping
Thank
on.
you.